Charis Kai Irene. Grace and peace to you. My name is Abiut Sagaya and I'm teaching Biblical Greek. I have students in one of the seminaries in Ethiopia. So I help them go through the lessons. So what I do a video lesson every time or every week so that I help the students to go through the material. So this lesson is brought to you not as a full load course, but as a highlight. So these video lessons are not the full load of the study, but they are very helpful. Although they are very short, but they are very helpful. So anyone who wants to start his beginning Greek class, I hope he will find it helpful. So this is what I do every week. So I appreciate if you can go through the lesson and give me your feedback, your comments, and also don't hesitate to subscribe to this channel. Let's grow this channel so that people learn the Greek of the Bible, so that they will have the feel of the original language. So the Lord willing, we may keep adding lessons as we go forward, and I hope you will enjoy it. May the Lord bless you. Thank you once again. Charis Kai Irene. Grace and peace to you. Lesson 2. Koine Greek, Biblical Greek. Lesson 2. This lesson 2 focuses on the introduction to the Greek verbs. You are going to be introduced to the Greek verbs. The Greek verb, an introduction. A Greek verb is like the English verb, is a part of a speech that indicates an action or a state of being. So in a sentence, a verb tells you an action. So a verb is a part of speech that indicates an action or a state of being. For example, I am teaching you. So I is a subject, part of speech that is a noun. So I is a pronoun subject. Teach is a verb, an action. Teaching is the present tense, and you is actually the object of the sentence. The verb in Greek has 6 tenses. There are 6 Greek tenses. The present tense, okay, before I say this 6 tenses, tense has to do with time. But how time or tense works in Greek is different from what we know in English. So in the near future, in the coming lessons, you will be introduced to how tense works in Greek, something called aspect. The Greek has time aspects. Well, let's go back to the 6 tenses. The Greek 6 tenses. The present tense. The present tense, I go. Go is in the present tense. Or I am going. The continuous idea. Present continuous idea. So in a given Greek verb, a present tense will have multiple or many aspects. We'll not talk about it here, but when we reach to the point where we need to learn about Greek aspect, then we will introduce the idea. But for now, have in mind that present tense has to do with a present time or a present continuous idea. Future tense, I will go, I will be going, has a future in view. And we have imperfect tense. I used to go, I was going, with a past continuous idea. It's a past tense. Then Greek has aorist. Maybe this sounds new concept, but this is one kind of Greek tense, aorist tense, aorist. I went, with the English simple past tense. Perfect tense, perfect tense. I have gone, with a past action with results now. And you have pluperfect, pluperfect, the pluperfect tense. You will check this in your lesson handout, pluperfect. So there are 6 Greek tenses: the present tense, future tense, imperfect tense, aorist tense, perfect tense, and pluperfect tense. Now let's talk about the Greek verbal moods. If a verb is about the action or state of beings, then the verbal moods are about the manner, about the manners in which the verb's action is stated. In what manner is the verb's action stated? For example, if the verb is stated in a statement way, is it with imperative like command, or is it a wish? Those are called moods. So in Greek, there are 4 moods which are called proper, and there are 2 moods which are called improper. We shall see them one by one in the following slide. Proper moods. So the verb in Greek might be expressed or stated in these 4 manners or moods. Indicative mood. This mood is found in all the 6 tenses. Remember 6 tenses? The present, the perfect, the imperfect, the future, the aorist, and the pluperfect. And we have now another mood, proper, imperative mood, the imperative. The imperative mood found in the present and aorist tense, in 2 tenses, the present and the aorist. So the basic function of the imperative mood is give a command. So there are other functions, but this is the basic function. Now we have subjective mood, subjunctive mood. Now this one is primarily found in the present and in the aorist tense. And the basic idea of subjunctive mood is the mood of probability. For example, they may love money more than they love God. And we have optative. The 4th one is optative mood. The optative mood. The optative mood is found in the present, the future, and the aorist tenses. And the basic idea is to express wish. If only you could love God, with the context capturing a wish on that part of the speaker. So there are 4 proper moods in Greek where the action of the verb is stated, or the manner in which the action is expressed. These are indicative mood, imperative mood, subjunctive mood, and optative mood. Improper moods. There are 2 improper moods. These are the infinitive and the participle. So the infinitive is found in the present tense, in the future tense, in the aorist, and in the perfect tenses. It has a translation with to. For example, I desire to love God more and more. To. This is the easy way to identify an infinitive. Participle. The participle is found in the present, future, aorist, and perfect tenses, like the infinitive. It has, the translation usually goes with the ing form. For example, The one loving God always loves his fellow human being, loving. So two improper moods, infinitive and participle. So the 6 are the indicative, the imperative, the subjunctive, the optative, the infinitive, and the participle. So don't forget, these are the 6 moods. And we have seen 6 verbs: the present, future, perfect, imperfect, aorist, and pluperfect. Verbal voices. Verbal voices indicate how the subject is related to the verb, how the subject is related to the verb's action in a clause or in a sentence. It indicates whether the subject acts or is acted upon. So in Greek, there are 3 voices. When the subject is acted upon, the voice changes. When the subject is acting, actually the voice changes. So in Greek, there are 3. We know in English we have 2, the active and the passive voice, but in Greek we have 3 voices. We will see this in the next slide. Now, each Greek verb can be expressed in either of 3 voices in Greek: the active voice, the passive voice, and the middle voice. The active voice is if the subject is acting as the verb, like I love. Okay, the subject I is acting, so I love. The passive voice, if the subject is receiving the action. Okay, if the subject is receiving the action expressed in the verb. Subject, I am loved. Okay, I am loved by God. Okay, or I love God here, active, I'm loved by God. This concept is not new for you. You have this in English as well. Now the middle voice. Now here is new concept. If the subject shares in the advantage or disadvantage of the action expressed by the verb, this is middle voice, and there are plenty of middle voices in the Greek New Testament. An example is when I say, I am eating. Okay, I am eating. I'm eating for myself. This is an action to my advantage. Or the author may choose to put it in a middle form if he or she desires the advantage to be part of the focus. Okay, how do you make it if the advantage is part of the focus? I am eating. You will say, I am eating for myself. So Greek has 3 voices: active, passive, and middle voice. Verbal person. Now, the verbal person indicates the relationship between the subject and the verb. There are 3 persons: first person, second person, and third person. The first person, the idea is the subject is the one who is in focus. I, the subject, read the Bible. The second person, the subject being addressed. You, the second person, you read the Bible. Third person, the subject is being spoken about, is someone spoken about. So she, he, it, they read the Bible. So there are 3 persons. So a Greek verb has tense, has moods. Now, as we've seen in the previous slide, it has voices, 3 voices, and now persons. And the Greek verb will have verbal number. Verbal number is all about subjects and verbs where they usually agree in person and a number. So if there is a singular subject, it will take a singular verb. An example is he, singular, speaks. Okay, this is singular subject, so the verb should be singular. So the person and the number agrees. This is a person, third person, singular, This is a singular number, singular verb. So a plural subject takes a plural verb, they, plural, speak. Now the impersonal verb occurs only in the third person. Singular example is necessary, it is lawful. So number, there are two, singular or plural. So there should be always an agreement between a person and a number when there is a subject and a verb. Okay? Now, pursing. When you are asked to purse any Greek verb, these are the components that you are asked to give out or write out. Tense, mood, voice, person, and number. Is the tense present? Is it indicative? Is it active? Is it first person? Is it third person? First person, plural or singular. Very good. Thus, a single verb will have a tense, mood, and a voice. In addition to these three, those in the moods proper will also indicate the person who did it, first, second, or third person, and the number, I or we, you, singular, or you, plural, and who, he, she, it, or they, as in the plural. Such a verb will therefore have tense, mood, voice, person, and number. So when one is asked to purse, okay, give a detail of a Greek verb, these are the details one is being asked for. You give the tense, the mood, the voice. So a Greek verb, one verb, okay, will have this components. Verb forms. The present indicative active, that is a present tense in basic form. Now in this lesson, we will focus on the present tense form of the majority of verbs. We will deal with them in the basic mood, that is indicative, and the basic voice, that is active, that is present indicative active. So forget about indicate, it should be indicative active. So the most basic forms of the Greek verb, we will look at it. So the verb is ending with ou, that is the omega, it's hidden here, omega, following a consonant. Okay, the present indicative active form of luo. This is what we are going to learn because it follows a regular form. I lose, I untie. This is the first form to learn, luo. It is in the present indicative active form. The tense is present, the mood is indicative, the voice is active. Now this is how it looks like, both in the singular and in the plural, and then you are given the translation for both singular and plural forms. So the present indicative active form of the verb luo, the singular, first, second, third person, and the plural, first, second, and third person. Look, pay attention to the stem and the ending. We'll talk about this in a little while. So the singular form, the plural form, translation for the singular and the plural, translation for the singular and the plural form here. So the first person, luo, oh, I lose, I am losing. The plural, luomen, luomen, we lose, we are losing. And second person, lueis, lueis, lueis. You lose, you plural lose, and you singular lose. You singular lose, you plural lose, or losing. Luete, okay, luete, you plural lose or are losing. Luei, luei, she, he, it loses. Luosin, they lose, plural they lose. So let's say this once more. Luo, luomen, lueis, luete, luei, luosin. So don't be worried about why this is not highlighted like the others. It's supposed to be. I think it is a type error, but these all are similar things, and these are similar things which I will talk about them in the next slide. But for now, remember that luo, luomen, lueis, luete, luei, luosin are the plural and a singular first, second, third person form of luo in the present indicative active form. Now let's talk about what are the details. Each form in the previous slide has two parts. These are referred to as the stem and the endings. So do you see this one? This is the stem. Okay, these all are stems. These are stems. These are stems or root words. Okay, the root word is this. So that's why Greek is an inflected. A Greek verb is an inflected language. Greek is an inflected language, which means you have a conjugation for verbs and you have declensions for nouns. They change the patterns. So these are the stem, the root words. These all additions are conjugated to indicate the persons. Okay? So the stem and the ending. Don't forget this. These are the endings. O, is, a in the singular, omen, ete, osin in the plural. These are endings. Or they are subject endings. They are telling me O is I, luo is the idea of losing. So I lose. Stem and ending. Don't forget these words. These are very important terms in your study of Greek verbs, stem and ending. Then the stem, the stem is luo throughout and the endings are o, is, a in the singular and omen, ete, osin in the plural form like I showed you. So if you are given the above forms and asked to identify the stem, all you need to do is to leave out the endings. What does it mean? It means if you are asked to give me a stem, you just remove these ones, the blue ones. Then you will have a stem. If you are asked to give me the endings only, you just remove the stems. If the third person plural, there is a noun placed in the bracket, this is because it may be there or not, that the label, movable or optional noun. So this is optional noun. Optional noun. It may occur with it or without it. So luo, sin. So this is movable. Now noon, that's why it is in bracket. We shall continue with this lesson in the coming days. But for now, this is it. This is all about the Greek verbs. See you soon. Bye-bye.